Good morning.
You good?
I'm good.
Good morning, it's 9 o'clock, February 14th, 2022, and our regular Commissioners Court meeting is now in session. First item on the agenda is roll call by our county clerk, Mary Jane Barrial-Benon. Mary Jane, good morning.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Judge Restroom,
Present.
Commissioner Mendoza,
Present.
Commissioner Elizondo,
Present.
Commissioner Solis,
Present.
and Commissioner Garza.
Present.
We have quorum, Judge.
Thank you, Mary Jane. Next item is our invocation by Dr. Roger Miller, Commissioners Court Chaplain. Dr. Miller,
Good morning. Good morning. I'd like to continue on with Valentine's Day just for a moment. I'm going to share a little bit from you from the scriptures. So happy Valentine's Day, but let's understand a new meaning of that today. Bow your heads with me if you would. Our God, creator of love, we're reminded that the very first time the word love is found in your word, you're speaking to Abraham as he looks upon his son Isaac on the altar of sacrifice. You remind us today that the best understanding of love is not found in candies and flowers, but in the willingness to give of ourselves completely to others. For your love for the world cost the life of your Son, Jesus Christ. So today we come into your presence in this court to again experience the fullness of your love as we give of ourselves for the betterment of the life of others in this community. May this court, our judge, commissioners, elected and appointed officials, may they come together this day seeking to make decisions which would benefit the community. May they seek to serve may they seek to serve those which honor others over themselves, and for this is the true meaning of love. May they respond to your leadership as they evaluate each issue and condition presented in this court. May they find comfort in the knowledge that they will receive all that they need for the tasks before them. Your word reminds us that all we need to do is ask for your help. So may you grant our leaders health and strength in body and mind and spirit for the responsibilities that lie ahead. And may they be assured of your love today. And in Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item number 4, communications, commissioners. Our fire chief usually takes the podium, but this time he has a meeting this morning, so he sent me a report on just basically the vaccination status and the testing. He stated that this past week 97 Moderna vaccines were administered, 8 were first dose, 11 second dose, and 78 were boosted. And this was done by our fire department. Testing, there is 3 sites for testing here at the Community Center. Curative group is testing, and we've got easy testing at the Lions Club in San Ignacio. We've got I think Innovative Solutions, or it's Innovative Laboratories have begun testing last week. So we've got plenty of testing going on in our community. We also wanted to say that CVS is testing from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Saturdays, and Sundays 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. with a Pfizer first, second, and booster. The National Guard is at the Community Center Tuesdays only from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. DSHS office, the Moderna, both Moderna and Pfizer, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Daniel's Pharmacy is also administering vaccines, and the PTA also. So as far as the results of our confirmed positive from last Commissioners Court meeting, we've had an increase of 121 up to 2,217. We've got an increase on the probable cases to 1124, and unfortunately 2 more deaths were added to our total COVID-related deaths, so we're up to 49 deaths in our community. So I think things are improving our situation, but still, it's still enormous for us. Any other communications? Of course, we've got early voting going on today, and certainly it seems to be a special time here in Zapata County as far as the primary season. There'll be, I guess, a lot of smoke-filled barbecue pits going on during the couple of weeks, and we urge the voters of Zapata to come support their candidates. Any other communications, Commissioners? If not, we'll move on to public comment. This section provides the public the opportunity to address the Commissioners Court on any items on the agenda.
Judge, I'd like to recognize Ms. Ruth Hernandez. She's here this morning.
Okay.
She would like to speak to the board about a concern she has in her subdivision, Falcon Shores.
Good morning, Mr. Hernandez.
Good morning.
Rosa Poe, yes. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioner Jones. Good morning. I'm here to ask if, y'all could relinquish, well, not you guys, but, approve to relinquish an easement that we have on our lots in Falcon Shores. I live in the last street, my backyard is Renato's land, so.
Okay.
There's a 20-foot easement behind all of our lots. I think, some of my, neighbors were supposed to be here, but anyways, there's a 20-foot easement. It was supposed to be for utilities. Utilities don't run back there. Utilities run in the front. Because nowadays, the utility companies run in the front because they run into issues where there's dogs and owners and fences. So they usually do it in the front, that is our case. Our case is the utilities run in the front. There's not gonna be any water going back there because they just ran a new water line. AT&T, Spectrum, everybody goes in the front, electric, in the front. The only thing, and I think I spoke to, I don't know his name.
Mr. Gonzalez.
Mr. Gonzalez. Yes, I spoke to him, and he said that the easement that he drew for 20 feet was for a sewer line. The sewer line runs behind us, it doesn't run on ours. So we also have that problem where when we need to tap into our sewer line, we have to go into private land. I haven't done that myself yet, but I know my neighbors have. So
the sewer line runs
behind our
behind,
line. So our 20-foot easement is there for nothing. Where it's not going to be used anytime soon. The utilities are going another route. So I'm asking for it to be released so we can build anything that I need to do. 20 feet is a lot of land. Normally it's 5 feet. I don't know why it's 20 feet. He said it's because, the sewer requires trenches and backhoes, but it's not on my land. It's not on anybody's land. It's on Renato's land. So I think the best thing to do is release our easement and maybe make it an easement back there so we can actually tap into the sewer line.
You know, we'll have to look into that,
Yes, of
Mr.
course.
Hernandez, and I'm not sure
Because we have to ask
why.
for permission.
Yeah, Ms. Ramirez, deeded that 20-foot easement, we may have future, but I have no idea, we'll have to see why it was developed and platted that way.
And he said it was for the sewer.
Okay, so we'll look into see what we can look, we don't have anything on the agenda, but we'll certainly, discuss it and see what, we can do about that.
Yes, because we want to build stuff on that.
Okay, very good.
Yes, is it?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. Appreciate you.
Item, any other public comment? Item number 6, approval of invoices. We have invoices in the packets from January 21st, 2022 through February the 10th, 2022 for a total of $1,521,429.48. Motion by Commissioner Mendoza to approve, seconded by Commissioner Solis. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried. Item number 7, approval of treasurer's report. Salinas, good morning.
Morning.
We handed out our report and placed it in front of you, Friday. Page number 1 shows some investments that are depository with the Zapata National Bank. And, we have a total of $11,396,673.71. And interest earned for the month was $3,329.09. The following page number 2, shows the, different checking accounts. The operating account had an ending balance of $2,756,169.86. It had a beginning balance of $71,296.65. We ran deposits of $5,669,768.86. And expense out of there $2,984,896.45. Following page number 3 are the other, accounts that are held, by, I didn't put that one. It's the same account, and that was my mistake when I was putting the report together, so I'll furnish you with that other, page of the deposits that are held by other elected officials. On page 4 are the checks that we issued, and they total $2,436,873.51. And year to date, we've issued $7,677,257.98.
I see a large portion of that was expenditures was the purchase, I guess, of, the landfill property?
Yes,
This month?
yes, that's why we have a large amount here. That's correct. On page number 4, that was the school operating accounts, that was $2,136,000, and I already went over the total amount that was issued for the year up to last month. Page number 5 shows the checks that were issued for the month, which totaled $2,918,415.08, and page number 6 shows the electricity. I made a phone call, and for some reason, the invoice is going to the auditors, and I called.
Yeah, I was made aware of that. We haven't been getting the bill and the invoicing, so Mr. Salinas talked to them,
Yes.
and he had them, they're gonna be emailing them, so that'll make the process a lot faster.
So that's
So.
why-
That I requested that they email me the invoice to make sure that it didn't get lost in the mail.
Okay.
So I forwarded that to Ms. Nelly, because I think
Yes.
she's covering for
Bobby.
Bobby.
Okay.
So, spoke to Nelly, she's gonna process it today, because I called, our electric provider. They did mail it out, and it's going to your suite 157.
Yes.
And so it may be out there somewhere.
It's kind of a hit and miss on the receiving, so with the email, that
Late
should.
fees included in this? Okay.
No, I
No,
spoke
we
to
don't-
them, and they're just gonna wait, because we're gonna process it today.
Okay.
So, I told, Nelly to go ahead and just process it, and, it's the utility, so we'll go ahead and send it out today.
And she was working on it Friday, so I know.
Yes, she started Friday afternoon. So that's why, I know that there's been a few months when I come up here and like, the month of October where we paid $378, so I got on it, so we, I wanna avoid that, just being late on our payments, especially our utilities. The water, we, issued payments of $7,276.72 for the month. And you have the running total on the bottom, which is $26,607.04 year to date. Electricity, $119,664.45. But of course, we're missing the payment for the prior month. Page number 7 shows our royalty income, and we get that as a direct deposit. For January, we received a deposit for $10,356.11. Which you can see that there's a small drop from the prior month. We received like $1,300 more deposited for the month of December. But year to date, we received $39,734.93 from Hillcorp Energy.
Price of natural gas has increased somewhat. Feel better.
Page number 8 shows the rental report. For the month of January, San Juan Civic Center deposited $300. The pavilion deposits came in at $2,250, and that's all the rental income that we recorded for all the buildings that we rent out throughout the county. Page number 9 shows the deposit that deposited Fund 10 by our county clerk. For January, $5,411.25 into Fund 10, into Fund 1550, our district clerk into Fund 10, $11,873.63. Our district clerk into Fund 15, $427. Our ordinance, we deposited $300,000, and our sales tax came in at $168,470.28. So you have the running totals on the bottom.
Okay.
Following page number 10 shows the deposits that we made for the landfill for the month of January, $27,115. The jail deposited $10,892.08. Jail telephone, no deposit for the jail bond fees, $405. Jail office fees, $450, and the EMS department deposited $40,555.08. Page 11 shows the deposit that were made by the different JPs. JP number 1 deposited $12,833.61. JP number 2, $10,275.50. JP number 3, $4,279. JP number 4, $4,628.28. The following report, I won't go through that. That's just the report that was requested by the court. That is the overtime that's paid to our water works and sewer employees for your review. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, Sonia.
Thank you.
Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Garza, seconded by Commissioner Solis to approve the treasurer's report as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 8 is approval of checks issued. And we have checks from 1/21/2022 through 2/10/2022 for $1,521,429.40.
Motion moved.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Garza, seconded by Commissioner Solis. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Number 9 is tax assessor collective departmental report. Ms. Mendoza, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Judge Commissioners.
Good morning, morning.
Let me go ahead and have this out.
Thank you, Olivia.
Our collection for this month, or for the month of January, was pretty good. For February should be even better. General fund, current collections, we had $761,026.44. Delinquent, we had $40,842.19. Penalty and interest, $36,376.10. Refunds for general fund was $1,259.63 for a total of $836,985.10. Interest and sinking fund, we have collection of the delinquent of $282,622.65. Delinquent was $12,818.83. Penalty and interest, $7,346.48. For a total, refunds, $322.90 for a total of $302,465.08. I'm sorry, 46. Farm to market, current was $10.62, delinquent $42.50. Penalty and interest, $68.33 for a total of $121.45. Special road and bridge, current collections was $83,415.88. Delinquent, $3,843.06. Penalty and interest, $2,754.31. Refunds, $135.73 for a total of $89,877.52. Delinquent attorney fees paid out were $15,593.39, and we had $6.75 overpayments for a total of tax collections of $1,245,049.27. Fees and other collections, we collected $16 for tax certificates. Motel hotel tax was $11,844.41. Copy fee was 50 cents. Interest earnings, $65.12. Net collections and fees was $11,926.03. So we had a total of $1,256,975.30.
Is that one copy that you made? Is that 50 cents or?
We have to put it in there. I mean, that's somebody.
No, that's fine. Everything counts.
So, okay, last year's collection rate at this time was 75.72, and this year currently is 74.44%.
Well, we do well.
1%, 1.2% lower than
Yeah, I
last
think,
year.
I think we should reach our goals, our marks. Yeah.
It just happened that in January, we had only one of the wind farms paid, and on the last day of
Okay.
February.
Yeah.
The other one came in the next day.
So that'll be on February's.
Yes, that'll be in
So
February.
that'll catch it up. That's good.
Yes. And,
Yep.
the total hotel motel tax for the year is $51,683.17.
Ms. Mendoza, on the hotel motel, which one is Best Western? I see the list here of the people who have paid, but which one is, are they under,
They changed names.
they changed names there?
Sure stay.
Sure Stay, oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. We were having, and we're pretty good, except for one of the hotels, which is Aquaview. They were supposed to be behind 1 year, but we called this morning, and I suppose I'm gonna have to go ahead and maybe get Craig or, Mr. Figueroa to give us a letter. But he said that he was giving the free rent to the military. So they weren't getting any income from that. So he just needs to bring us
Well,
some.
government entities usually don't pay taxes, so maybe that's what he meant.
I don't know, but he was supposed to, bring us in some sort of, support for that. So that's the only one that's behind, and, so we're going to do that.
You mentioned the wind farm. They have, one of the companies has made the dedicated payments of $125,000 in addition to the property taxes.
Right.
And the other one we've been in contact with, and they said the check's in the mail, so those organizations should be having those funds available.
They do get kind of lost because they do come to our office,
I know.
and then somebody's holding it because it doesn't, you know, if one of the clerks or whatever, they hold it there because the amounts are not the same, so it's the wrong place.
So,
It's gotta go to
yes,
wrong.
Go to the treasurer's office, yeah.
Yes,
So,
so it's doing good.
okay.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
We'll move on to the action items. We will deliberate, consider action on item number 10 is to approve payment of pending invoices to LumenServe for the lighting of the communications towers. Commissioners, there's been some outstanding invoices for LumenServe. They repaired all the lighting and on the communications towers at the regional jail. And basically, the agreement that we signed last year was for a monthly rate of $706. I guess Joe's in the audience, I see him, there's been some confusion as to who is responsible for the payment of these invoices. I think overall, we need, basically what the agreement entails is they replace all the lighting, they're responsible for it, they monitor it on a 24/7 basis. If anything needs to be repaired as part of the contract, but the lighting system themselves belongs to the company. So if we renege on the agreement, basically we'll be in the dark again at the tower. So what it comes down is, we've got a $706 monthly payment, and the term is on a yearly contract. We can give 45 days notice to terminate the contract. I spoke to the sheriff this morning. I think it's important that, since at the height of that tower, that we continue to have that lighting installed. I mean, just, if we try to do it on our own and try to get contractors to repair every time they come down here, I think we'll be paying even more.
So are we past due, Mr.
So,
Zena, 56?
About 10 months.
What happens
Yeah.
is that we own the light bulbs, we owned everything, the
That
town
we used to,
owns.
yeah.
Yes. And when they went bad, we were looking for vendors to come and replace the light bulbs. We have to pay for a climber, about $3,000, and then we pay somebody the light bulbs.
It's
We had
expensive.
3. One of the vendors that we had reached out to went around us, and because we didn't do business with him, we decided we were on talks, which was LumenServe. Comes around and I think reaches out to your office. Joe.
No, it was actually through one of your appointments, Mr. Elizondo.
Yes.
What provided, a contract
So-
to the county.
We never agreed with them to come and do service, but it was passed to the Commissioner's Court to do service with them.
They came in, but it was a monthly contract. I don't know where the bills have been going. I've been getting them in my office, but I told Kevin once, I told him like, look, we wanted to buy the light bulbs. That they can last about 10 years. But now we're in a process of a monthly. What happens is if anything goes bad they do service calls. They will do that.
Yeah.
If we call them,
Well,
they will
I
do
think
it, pay
as
their
part of their
time.
agreement, it says here that kind of what they do, and if, you know, I would tell the sheriff that if y'all are not happy with it, I mean, we can certainly terminate the contract in 45 days notice, but.
No, the
we'll-
thing is, we just want you to be aware that, you know, that's a maintenance that has to be done.
Right.
And we prefer to have that. In a monthly, it's preferred.
Joe, but nobody went around the sheriff department,
Well, we never agreed to them and.
well, Mr. Elizondo was handling that, and he brought it to court, I guess,
Okay,
with the
then
department.
I'm sorry, I wasn't
Yeah,
aware of that.
yeah.
That was one piece that I wasn't, because when I took over the tower was in around May, a little bit after
Yeah.
March and May, that's when we had the repairs. Apologize for that, I didn't know that Mr. Elizondo had done that.
Yes.
Motion to approve, Judge, for the $5,648 they're due.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Elizondo, seconded by Commissioner, Elizondo.
It was Mendoza, so.
And that's to be taken out of the building and maintenance, out of the.
That's gonna be
the-
M&O, we're gonna have to
Okay.
have a line item as we
Okay.
move forward
Okay.
in the budget process.
Yeah, that's fine.
So it'll be like $8,000 a
Yeah.
year. But like I say, to get a climber down here, first, they're difficult to find.
Yes.
It'll be 3,000 just to go check, so I think,
I think that's, well,
value
didn't get the-
wise, I think it's worth having.
it's
somebody-
worth, yes, it is worth it. And my question would be now, let's say for next year, on the next budget, how would we
Yes.
see
Well, we'll
this?
just figure that out, whether the sheriff, I mean, since basically a sheriff's dollar,
Send
and
them
y'all
600.
included in your budget.
Okay, yeah, that's what I have.
To get funded and paid directly.
Okay,
But
that-
we'll figure it out, we
that's-
just need to get it paid, so.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
I'm sorry, Judge, annually, what was the amount annually that?
Well,
or-
it's 706 per month.
Per month,
So
okay.
it's about
And we owe 10
$8,400.
months?
Huh?
We owe 10 months right now? I think?
10,648.
Okay,
Yeah, the contract was approved in April,
okay, thanks, sir.
so, you got the amount, Jane?
Yeah.
Okay, motion in the second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 11 is to hire AARC Environmental Incorporated to bring the Zapata County Water Works into compliance with the America's Water Infrastructure Act of 2018. Mr. Alonso Cantu, morning, Mr. Cantu.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Paid a visit to me, I guess, last Thursday. Your company does a lot of work at our airport and for many, many years.
Mhm.
And you became aware, I guess, through publications?
Yeah, we did this for different cities here, Laredo, city of San Juan, Del Rio, Brownsville. And, we just wanted to bring, to the, county's attention that the EPA released, a list of the water systems that didn't, certify to do, certain things, and that way we can help you out.
I think Mr. Trevino, our water plant manager, is in the office, and after we placed the agenda item, I
Yeah,
guess
sure.
we
So what happened was
communicated.
there was a case of miscommunication, so what happened was the EPA had been sending emails
Uh-huh.
to the email address of the previous,
So he had a personal address, email address?
Correct, so they were going to Mr. Carlos Trevino's old email, and we never received them, we never received the actual,
Notification, yeah.
Yeah, like a hard copy, so what happened was we jumped on it, myself and, Mr. Manuel Gonzalez with Premier, and we sent them the certification last week, and I just got about 10 minutes ago notification from the EPA that they had accepted it, so.
Oh, good, that's good
So we
news.
are in compliance now.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, we are. Yes, sir.
And that was for the assessment or the emergency response plan?
It was for both, it was for the RRI and for the ERP, because the ERP had already been created by Society of Vela, Communities Unlimited back in 2018, so, it was.
That's good news.
It was still up.
Okay, so, but it included the physical security, cyber security,
Yes,
and?
all that information, yes.
Okay.
So,
Very well.
it was a miscommunication, it was just.
Okay, well,
being
I'm
sent
glad
to
we're
the
taking care of it.
Okay.
And that, just
I'll
another
follow
unfunded
No.
mandate, seems like, another unfunded mandate by the government, yeah, so I'm glad we were able to take care of it. Mr. Cantu, I appreciate you reaching out to me and making us aware. I know you've been helping other communities and water systems throughout the state. And you do an excellent job for us at the airport and keeping us under FAA guidance.
That's what we want to hear, so.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's good news. So no action, Commissioner?
No action on the level.
And thank you for making the trip. I know you're a busy man, so
No worries.
appreciate you coming down to our court. I did call you earlier this morning to kind of advise you of what was, and hopefully save you a trip, but it's a little late.
Okay, no worries, that's.
All right, good
Thank
seeing you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Item number 12 is to consider amending the 2021-2022 budget for county court staff salaries and potential new grant funded positions contingent and on the approval of funding from the Officer of the Governor's Operation Lone Star Grant number 43726011. Commissioners, I put this item on the agenda. We have received pre-approval on the Operation Lone Star funding, which a large portion includes the Sheriff's Department and the county court systems, which include the clerks, county attorneys, and my office. There will be some salary increases to those employees that do that work. And I felt it necessary that we bring them up for discussion. We have received preliminary funding. It's not final. I think the numbers are pretty close to what is on the well, the information should be there. The amount of funding that, in total, that the county is inclined to receive is over $4 million, with a large portion of that going to the Sheriff's Department, and then the rest coming to these departments. And this will be in conjunction with Operation Lone Star. And so what we requested is significant salary upgrades to all the clerks, all the assistants, all the employees. There will be additional, we did request additional employees for those departments, a total of 5, that will total about $162,000 and it's a 2-year grant, and these are 1-year totals. I think we can probably wait on final approval until we get the final approval from the state, or the award from the state, which should be forthcoming. Sheriff, what do you think, next week?
I would say by this week. It's just a matter of them releasing new numbers.
We had submitted all the budgets and they've been accepted by the
They have
governor's
given
office.
us a date of today, February 14th, so I just think, Sergeant, I just think we have to see throughout the day what numbers we receive from the state, and then we will advise them whether they're gonna be accepted.
And these monies, we did request them. I think also the treasurer's office is also part of the process. I did request advance funding, at least of 1 month, because of our budget situation. So there will more than likely be forwarding a 1 month's advance.
I do know that there's a certain formula that they use, contingent to the salary that every employee makes, whether it's wiser to hire an employee or just augment the salary.
Yes, and we had those conversations, and I felt that, given the experience of the employees that we have, I think it's a better fit if we keep our employees and pay them more than try to train new employees. But there are some new positions
Yes.
available, but yes, they, for a while there, they.
And we were stuck on that for a bit, but then, we provided some numbers, and they'll be providing where are they at right now, and see if the county accepts it.
So I guess we could approve this, and I think Trumpo, you came up with.
Yes, I looked into it. We don't have to amend the budget, Judge. According to section 111.0108, it's revenue, special revenue after the budget has been approved, which is grant money. So all we have to do is certify. I have to certify the revenue coming in. Let's say it's $1 million, and then all you have to do is approve a budget for it. So that's basically
But even
it.
with the new positions?
Yes, because it's the revenue that's already coming in, so I can look into that and make sure, double check that, but I think it's just an amendment of
We can do
the.
that, that's fine, and include the position, because we're adding positions to our budget.
Right, but it's you're adding positions with monies that are coming in from the grant, so,
Makes
yeah,
sense,
so
yes.
I'll double check into that, but, my understanding is that the revenue comes in, you have to approve a budget, for that revenue, like any other grant that we have, and that's basically it. You don't have to amend anything.
And the 5 positions are for what department, Judge?
For all, I know that the sheriff has, this doesn't include the sheriff's office.
That's what was gonna be my question, why the sheriff is not gonna get on the secretaries and the JPs?
In that, Commissioner Garza, we do have our budget to where we are gonna be getting positioned to transport any of the criminals we get on the street to the processing center of Jim Hall. That's separate from the court system.
But your administrative staff, your support staff is also getting salary adjustment, Sheriff?
Yes,
this month?
All the budgets have been submitted.
Yes, we.
This is just for the court administration personnel, so, yeah.
But you stated that the treasury department is gonna be on this one too?
Yes, we
What
asked
was the reason?
for some, payment increases for those employees because of the extra paperwork that they will be handling, Commissioner. And it was approved, so these are state monies that no county funds are paying you.
And that would be due to the treasurer's office doing the paperwork for the overtime and everything of the.
And how about the JPs?
JPs we're not gonna be involved in the process. There will be, magistrates that will be appointed, by the governor's office, not the OCA, Office of Court Administration. So basically, the process will entail, judges being appointed, magistrates being appointed, indigent defense attorneys being appointed, prosecuting attorneys being appointed. So, basically, most of the legwork will be done, by the clerks and the administrative staff. Elected officials and JPs, will not be handling any duties, and there is no compensation for any elected officials here or any elected officials in any departments.
So these
basically-
positions, Judge, you said are for the county clerks and county attorneys?
Some of them are, I'm not sure the breakdown. I believe we requested 1, 2 for my office. Mary Jane,
I got
you
one.
put One,
One
and
for
then
me.
the other 2 for the county attorney, those 5 employees. And they were approved. We did, because of our budget situation, and the governor's office agreed to fund us 1 month in advance, once we get approved and awarded with the grant, so that'll help with, with our budget, and I'll make sure that we overspend these money.
Yep.
So, our employees are gonna have a lot more work, especially the clerks and the administrative staff, but they are gonna be well compensated. I felt that these employees should be well compensated, and as you can see by the numbers, they are, this is for a 1-year period. I did request that they are well, so basically it comes down to, I think I can read out the totals for the public to know. So basically for personnel, for the court administration, which includes the clerks, the county attorney, the treasurer, the assistants, will have to see an increase of $116,630 for 4 employees. Personnel, the clerk, $66,888 for 4 employees, and analysts, so a total of $223,518 will be added to those employee salaries, which is, I think, merited, and I'm happy that they're receiving these compensations for the time.
And with the understanding for the general public that once a grant is done, these are state funds, the salaries come back down to where they're at.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
they're very
It's
well
not to
aware.
expect, yeah.
This is,
So the 5 new employees will be temporary just for that year?
as long as the funding's there. If they've said it might be a 2-year, grant project, it may be longer. If it's shorter, the money dry up, certainly, yeah, and the 5 employees would be, $162,000 would be, then that's for 1 year, so, being well compensated, the state has agreed, so we're just fighting. And I know the sheriff included, his employees and, those that will be involved in the grant. And I think this is a statewide effort, mainly on the border, to help secure our border. And, I think, by participating in it, I think we'll get a chance of improving our infrastructure, our equipment. The sheriff just got awarded $500,000 for patrol cars, and other equipment. And I think your total will be close to $2 million, Sheriff, is that correct?
Close to 2 million.
So it's a lot of infrastructure, a lot of money's coming into our county. We've got the military in our county spending money. I think as we can see from our sales tax receipts, this is gonna be very good for our community. And overall, make our community safer for our citizens, so.
Judge, and you were the one that applied for the grant?
Yes.
Yes.
Our next project would be to hopefully, do a processing center or an addition to our jail to where it'll bring in more revenue. Just the number of last month, we brought in 203,462, that's just the jail. I need to give you the exact report in the next commissioner.
Okay.
I'll provide it to Mr. Zapata.
I know, Sheriff, that's been a good help. So, yeah, as part of the sheriff funding request, we actually, were hoping to get funding to expand the jail. Of course, that was not approved, but we can certainly continue to try that maybe as part of that processing center and include some provisions to include and expand our current jails.
I've been communicating also with Commissioner Solis in reference to a boat hangar and a little marina for processing right there on the lake.
Yeah.
We're also looking into that. That way we can do a bunch of the work there on the lake as well.
I think the total budget that we requested was close to $30 million. The majority of it was for the sheriff's department. We were approved for a little over $4 million, which is tentatively approved. So hopefully the award, but it's still $4 million. It's going to come in our community. It's going to be a big help to our employees. So those employees that are involved in the process of filing and pursuing those misdemeanor cases, which so what this entails with this OLS grant is any illegals that are processed and charged with criminal trespass, which is a Class B misdemeanor, will be processed through county court. And that involves the county clerks, the county attorney, and my office. But the actual magistration and prosecution will be done because of the potential volume of overwhelming our small staff, especially our prosecutor, which is just our county attorney. There will be visiting judges and visiting prosecutors to do those, and there'll certainly be indigent defense. All of that will be handled through the state.
And Judge, one more thing, we will keep applying for grants. I know the budget and the county's in a bind right now, but I think we should all take initiative and be applying for these grants because, you know, at a time of need right now, we need to push forward all of us together.
Yes.
That way we can bring in revenue.
Very good. So I guess we can make a motion to approve this contingent on the grant approval. And then I think, or we can wait for the final approval and have the sheriff's budget included in a special meeting. We can wait for that too. I just wanted to inform the court that this is what's happening. The sheriff's budget is not included in this.
And I'll reach out to TAC to see with the added people, if we need to amend the budget, or if we could just get away with approving a budget
So,
for the
yeah,
grant.
I don't have a problem tabling it and moving it.
I'll make a
to
motion to table it for final discussion.
Motion by Commissioner,
I'll second the motion.
that's at the table, second by Commissioner Solis. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Motion carried. Table it, and once we'll combine, once the award is, maybe we might call a special meeting if it's time sensitive.
I'll let you know, Judge, when we get the call.
Okay. Item number 13 is to approve estimate for repairs of public restrooms and the low water crossing at the Los Angeles Golf Course. Commissioner Solis, you've been working on bringing that golf course up to par. We did receive 2 bids on the restrooms, and I think there's one public restroom that, when we applied for the Parks and Wildlife funding, was identified as a need to, remediate. So that, and we, as part of the grant, well, as part of our certificates of obligation, we requested an additional $100,000 for park improvements and equipment. So these monies would come out of that, Mr. Gonzalez, out of that $100,000, and then we can, because it is, the plan is to, at $750,000, to use it completely for the purchase of the property. So that $100,000 will be coming from the CO. So we can do either way, but we can. I think it'd be simpler if we just use the $750,000 for the purchase, And then any improvements taken from the certificates of obligation.
I also reached out to our bond counsel, Dan Martinez. I was talking to Commissioner Solis about the sprinkler system out there, and with Rene Garcia on improvements of it. So I called him and reached out to ask bond counsel if we could use those funds for those type of improvements also. And he said if we have them left over, we could.
Yeah.
I was there with you when you
Yeah,
called.
yeah. Commissioner Garcia was there with him.
So do we have the second bid, because I only see one in the packet?
Yes.
I got the second bid, it's with Fast Track LLC, and it's gonna be $13,948.60.
Total material labor?
Total material
That's
labor.
almost half of.
Well, the only difference is, they, instead of, doing the whole ramp, he's gonna do like about half of it, just so we can have a walkway for the people that walk the golf course, instead of doing the whole ramp, you know, so we'll save on cement and labor and stuff like that, so.
So you're recommending to go with the lower?
I recommend to go with Fast Track LLC for $13,948.60.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I'll second the motion.
13-9.
$948.60.
Motion by Commissioner Garza, seconded by Commissioner Mendoza.
I'll get you guys a copy of that.
All right.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Item number 14 is to install a speed hump at 1608 Loma Avenue.
Just, the reason that I put it on the agenda was because this family, they're very close to the school, and I told them, you know, I can't recall exactly when was the date, but it was 2016 when the board decided not to have no more speed humps.
Right.
And he said, well, I don't think that because you're retiring, you don't wanna help us no more. I said, no, it's not that, but I'll take it to Commissioner's Court so the court can decide. It was
I think the parameters were, Commissioner, it had to be 200 feet from a school
Nah,
or
it's-
church.
Yeah, it's more than
Because
that.
if we do it for one, we're gonna have to do
Exactly.
it for everybody.
And I told them, you know, I'm just gonna bring it to Commissioner's Court, let the court decide yes or no.
So it's close to a school?
It's about probably a block and a half. It's more than that.
Motion to deny, Judge, on that item.
It's more than the 200 feet.
Commissioner Mendoza, second.
So for public knowledge, we do have an ordinance in place.
Yeah.
A court order, Commissioner.
Court order.
Yeah, because we were.
Yeah, it was in 2006 when we passed.
2006?
Yeah, 2016, I'm sorry.
16.
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't know exactly what month. But Mary
I'll look it
Jane's
up.
gonna have,
I'll look it up.
So motion died, who was the second?
no,
I got a motion, I need a second. Second by Commissioner Solis. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 15 is to authorize the use of Zapata County Pavilion for practice on February 15th, 7th through 17th and 20th, and at the Zapata County Community Center on February the 22nd to the 25th for practice and set up for Zapata County Fair Queens contest.
motion moved.
Motion by Commissioner Elizondo, second by Commissioner Garza. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 16 is to approve the use of the Zapata Community Center for the Winter Texans Appreciation Day on February the 24th
Motion
at
moved.
10 a.m. Motion by Commissioner Garza. Karen, good morning.
I think we have a problem here.
Oh, my God.
Look above. Because on the one, they're
That
using
22nd
a
and
center
25th.
from the 22nd through the 25th. And I'd already gone through Laura. She
Yeah,
went
well,
across
I
town.
think, it won't be a conflict, I mean, because you'll be finished by then, by the time they.
Yeah, the practices will be late in the evening,
Yeah, not
Karen.
the evening.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, so
okay,
your event will be more
perfect.
than over by that time.
Okay. There's a very small committee of us working on this.
Okay.
We've already got a DJ. The food is in the finalizing portions of it. And we're looking for donations, door prizes, anybody who wants a booth there, you know, there's no charge, everything's free. So, and we did list it as the Winter Texan,
Yes.
because there were some complaints from some businesses about how many senior citizens were there. And so basically, I just left that off, we're not gonna refuse anybody,
That's very Texan, yeah.
is basically who it's for, yes. So, like I say, anybody wants to donate, you know anybody, give us a call, because there's
It's already
basically,
sponsored, yes.
yes, it's 3 of us working on this.
Okay.
So, I just feel like it's very important, because our winter Texans help our economy. You know,
Yes.
I think we just
Agreed.
need to show them our
Appreciate
gratitude.
It would certainly help, and, we'll get the word out and try to get you some additional funds.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, I'll have my hand out.
There you go. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item, number 16 is to review and approve agreements for the Miraflores Park and Los Ebanos Golf
Judge,
Course.
there was only one,
We need a second,
We need a
Judge, on
second number
16.
16.
I thought we approved it, no?
No.
No.
I made a motion.
Garza
to
and-
approve it.
Okay.
All those in favor say aye? Aye. Okay, it's official, good. Item number 17, to review and approve agreements for the Miraflores Park and the Los Ebanos Golf Course. Mr. Gonzalez, good morning. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Morning. So, good morning.
Thank you.
Judge and Commissioners, this is for the grant application with Texas Parks and Wildlife for the Miraflores and Los Ebanos Golf Course. We will be preparing the surveying, the engineering, the construction, bidding casing and the construction support, staking of any improvements, getting the improvements that are needed for each of the facilities. The first one is the Miraflores Park. That one, it requires, total survey on the facility. We're gonna put in, a field, put in some sprinkler systems, put in some, playground equipment, some picnic areas, walking trail, some parking for people that go, I guess, use the park. And, that's about what the improvement that we have. We need to bring in a water line from the near, I guess, from the next block over, and, that's what we would have. The other,
Would these funds be coming from the grant itself, or would these be in addition?
no, they'll be coming from the grant. Yeah, those will be coming from the grant. So,
I think, well, on the golf course.
yeah, on the golf course, on the golf course one, I did take into account that the county is buying the golf course.
Right.
So I didn't put like our budget based on the purchase of the golf course,
Right.
because you're just buying it. So that chunk of money is going for the purchase.
Yeah.
So the remainder, money, I think you have roughly about, $200,000 or something like that. That would be for the improvements to the golf course and to the facilities where I think we wanna put in a walking trail or a multi-use.
And I was gonna, did we get ahead of ourselves with, well, the commission's been very aggressive, I think it's, the golf course has changed substantially, for the good, for the better.
Yes.
But on the bathroom, I guess that would be maybe part of the scope of your work.
I would put it under the scope of this work,
Yeah.
so that it doesn't come out of county
Well,
budget.
the design and see
But-
what is needed.
But
I
the
think-
work that has been done, like the cleaning and things like that, those would go under, it's a county-owned property.
Yeah,
And
so-
it goes under maintenance, so
Yeah.
you're just maintaining your property.
Yeah.
But, I would think that the rest of it, I would leave it for the improvements to be paid for from the grant.
Well, the grant, we're gonna use the entire grant, if it's approved, with the deletions that we submitted.
Correct.
With, well, an amendment, not deletion. So, I guess for the public to understand is, so the entire, tract is 122 acres. The golf course is, approximately, 100, or is it 100?
62 acres.
Huh?
Or like 66 acres.
Yes,
And-
but we, once the grant is approved and funded, the entire property, that has been surveyed and is part of the grant application has to be used for recreational purposes for more than 20 years, I believe, 25 years. There is a portion, we identified about 20 acres of that tract, and we, are asking Parks and Wildlife to delete that as part of the grant, so the county can, we can use it for other purposes other than recreation, so, but it looks like we're still able to qualify for the entire $750,000.
Yes,
To help us purchase it.
From what I saw from the grant administrator, Mr. Carlos Cunha Vargas, is that he did submit a request to the, I guess, the representative from Texas Parks and Wildlife, letting them know that we wanted to keep some of the land for county purposes.
Right.
And, they replied, you know, it would be on the acres that he had sent, and that they had approved 20 acres could be, used for county, county uses.
Right.
And, we did do, I guess, a cutout of that to remove that from.
We haven't received final approval on that, I don't believe, I think we submitted it last week.
Yeah.
But we're hoping that, but according to, the values that we submitted, I think the entire amount of the grant can be used for the purchase, because it's still above I guess, the threshold of having to come up with more county, 750.
We wanna keep the 750, the value of the 750, so that we don't have to come up with any general fund money.
Would that delay the process of funding, Mr. Gonzalez, that when we submit for these, 20 acres to be excluded from the plan?
No, that's already been submitted, and so then all it would be is if they come back and say, okay, no, 20 acres is not gonna work, then we go maybe to 15 acres or something like that. But we did submit the 20, it includes, and I have a little map, and I guess I can pass it around, cause that jumps into the next line item, but I'll pass it around right now. It includes, and then you can, this is two different layouts, one of them shows 20 acres.
Well, I think it's important, and we can, you know, delay the funding, because we're already using it for other, at least a building there for purposes other than recreation. We have an industrial lease there.
We do have a lease there.
So certainly we do have to carve it out.
Those are at least, approximately about 3 acres.
Yes.
On that lease. And then there's, that back section, I forgot the map there, where it could be, I guess it could be used for other county purposes, but it shouldn't delay the,
So
it's
that's-
been submitted already. And, it was
This is
just
the
maybe
grant.
delay of whether
And so
we make that
that's
smaller,
the end of the
if the
document.
20 acres is not approved in terms of
And that's, you know.
being too much
international boundary, right?
land, not having enough for the 750,
Right.
then we would then cut it
Yeah,
back.
so we haven't received the 750 from the grant yet.
We've not received.
No,
that.
we,
Correct.
it's a reimbursement type grant, so basically, if we receive approval, we'll issue a payment to the owners of the golf course, a final payment, and then we'll request a reimbursement. So we have the monies available, we're just wanting to make sure that Texas Parks and Wildlife is okay with the carve out that we're taking out. Once we receive our approval, then we can just completely pay the Ramirez family off.
That's correct.
And then we'll ask, you know, for reimbursement.
And the turnaround time, Judge, for reimbursement, do we have? an
It
idea?
might, hopefully it'll be quick, I'm sure we'll have to stay on them, but yeah, those money will be coming from the certificates of obligation funds that are there.
Yeah, those, as soon as the funds do come to the county, you can issue that first payment for the purchase. And then the remaining would be used for, I guess, golf course and park improvements within the golf course property.
My arithmetic, we don't have 200,000, we have 100,000. So basically, the purchase price was 1.35 million.
Okay, I didn't know the price.
So the grant is for 750.
Yep.
So we gave a down payment of $500,000, and we had budgeted 700,000 in total in the certificates of obligation. So we'll have $100,000, we'll have $100,000 to do these improvements, which is the trails, and, you know, bathrooms,
Bathroom, and then I would say, we would probably need to look at any improvements like on the pond or on the one put maybe some picnic areas or.
Yeah, the commissioner has been doing some of that with his crews, but.
I saw that.
Yeah,
And
but-
it looks good.
And I think for Parks and Wildlife, we should probably keep count of what we're doing and so we can invoice them, say, look, we've done this much in kind. I don't know, I think, you know, I think your firm needs to be involved in every process so
I
we can
agree.
submit everything we're doing. So Commissioner, you'll be, communicating with Mr. Gonzalez on, from the bathroom on, everything we've done. So those monies can be taken into account, also what we've already done.
Okay.
Motion to approve both invoices, Judge, for the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza, seconded by Commissioner Solis to approve the agreements, which is for The Miraflores, the scope of work will be $12,000 with Premier Engineering, and for the Los Alamos Golf Course, it will be a fee of $40,000. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 18 is to approve status and approve invoices for the Miraflores Park and Los Alamos Golf Course.
Okay, that was kind of what we were going over.
Yes.
I have a layout here also for the Miraflores Park, where we've already begun on preparing, we did the survey work already, and we've, begun creating a layout, preliminary layout, where we're wanting to put in, we had called it a soccer field, but the agency called it, I guess, a multi-use field.
Okay.
So they didn't really wanna call it a soccer field, I guess they could use it for baseball practice or, football practice, flag football or things like that. So, there's also, we're looking to use, we wanna do the same thing, Judge, on the property that the county owns. The county owns all the way to 19th Street, so we wanna not use the lots that are adjacent to 19th Street up to the creek.
Right.
So we wanna use from the creek west, which is the section that we're currently utilizing. The other section, we wanna leave it for a future application. Yeah, so those lots, we wanna be able to see if we can submit for removal for a future grant application. And if it gets approved, then that would be, I guess,
Very well, yeah, good.
Motion moved.
Now, on the soccer field or multi-use, is it gonna be turf, grass?
That'll be grass.
It'll be grass.
It'll be grass, we have a small budget for sprinkler systems. So turf would be great, but it's
Do you
just,
have,
we have 150,000 total budget. And so that goes.
Do you have the invoices, what are we approving as far as amounts on the invoices for this?
Oh, on the invoices, I didn't bring them with me. The amount was, 4,000 for the Miraflores part and 2,500 for the, Los Alamos.
Okay.
Motion, I'll second the motion, Judge.
Motion by Commissioner Garza, seconded by Commissioner Mendoza to approve invoices, for Miraflores Park of totaling 4,000, and for Los Alamos Golf Course of 2,500. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
When can we start them?
Well, we've technically restarted, so, yes, now it's gonna need this for, formalities, but, yeah, we've gotten that already started. Thank you, Judge.
Item number 19 is to review easement on Falcon, Ramireno, and Villa Street.
Let me check real quick, 'cause they brought me an easement layout, but on that one, I can, let me see if he's out here.
Okay.
When you say not going, it's not, okay, this isn't precinct four?
Yes, Commissioner.
Okay.
It's in precinct 4 on Medina Addition. And there's Falcon, Ramireno, and Villa. So there's, 3 streets there where we have existing, sewer line easement. And we allocated the, I guess, the corners for that sewer line easement. When the county built that sewer project, they acquired easements to put in that line. Those easements were, acquired, and then we were able to show that we have them in place. There was a section on one of the blocks, and you can kind of see it on the map, where we were not able to find an easement. There probably is one, because we have a line going through it, but it's just, we might have to do, maybe get with, Ms.
We couldn't locate it. I think this, yeah.
Okay,
Is that the one you called me about, right? We couldn't
Okay,
locate
yes.
it.
There's nothing filed then?
No, so we just wanna get something filed, because our utilities are in there, and, it was approved when the project was done back in, I think it was in, yeah, like maybe 98 or 2005.
Could it have belonged to somebody else, the property at that time?
It's
We
possible.
couldn't find anything.
It's
We
possible
we-
that
we
I
left.
went to Mary Jane
Yeah,
and
we
I couldn't
couldn't
find
find
anything
anything.
on those lots.
Okay, we couldn't.
We don't have any
So
easement.
what's the problem? The owner doesn't want us to access that easement or what?
No, what we wanted to do is we wanted to, make sure that we maintain that easement.
Okay.
So that what happens also is that in that area and in the Medina addition area, when we have a good rain, there's areas where we don't have drainage easements or utility easements where that we can maintain and keep, you know, in a good condition. So right now it rains and the water ponds on that street and it ponds there and it'll stay there for a week or two. And it just becomes more of a nuisance in terms of damaging our asphalt. It starts getting potholes and then the water starts becoming stagnant and creates like a foul odor. So what we wanted to do is clear the easement or keep it maintained so that water could drain through it. We don't have it, so I've approached the owner to see if he would consider maybe granting the county a drainage easement so that we could just, we're not looking to put in any pipes because this is not where we have a defined creek.
No.
It is a fairly flat area, but there is water that comes to that area and wants to get across. There's a little bit of fill material, when I say a little bit, it's maybe about 1.5 feet, that holds that water back. When it rains a lot, it eventually gets above that 1.5 feet and it goes through, but then you have 1.5 feet that stays. Similar to what we used to have on Lincoln Street, and then we put in a pipe or a small pipe just to drain it through.
Right.
In this case, what we wanted to do is just grade it, but we don't have an easement, so we don't wanna put in county equipment in there without having permission to
And
do
the
it.
owner is in agreement,
Not
really.
yet, not yet, cause when I spoke to the owner was kinda like, well, he wasn't too sure if you want, I don't know if he could really visualize what a drainage easement would entail, and then you're gonna have, I mean, the water goes through there right now, and there's no other way it could go through, but,
does it have any structures in the way of the?
right now there's no structures,
No.
it's just some field.
On the other side, see.
On the next block, on the
Yeah.
Via side,
Uh-huh.
there is a home, and it is fenced with block fence, and then they have a gate. So whatever water gets to that point, whatever water gets to that point right now, goes through that block gate and goes through the gate and continues on down. We wanna start looking in terms of, I guess, a community that, seeing if we can acquire drainage easements in that area. It's very densely populated. Whenever we have good rain events of an inch or more, we have significant damage in terms of flooding. So it's not something that we have a budget for. We may wanna consider, we did apply with, the Texas Department of Agriculture, for, improvements on drainage improvements, we started on the south end on, where Fifth Street, or where, I guess, like the Rex studios are at,
It's between 7 and that's 6th Street.
Well, the application starts south of Highway 16, on where Fifth Street is at, and it just goes to 4 blocks. And so if it gets funded, then we'll start there, and then the next cycle, we'll see if we can continue and fix that. But there's multiple areas in Medina Addition, and also Mesa Salinas and other parts of the community that have drainage issues.
So what do you need from the court today, Mr. Gonzalez, on this?
I have been requested by the judge and Commissioner Garza to look into that drainage easement, and, I provided, just our findings and our results, so I guess it's maybe a no action, but I wanted to provide a report, and so then that was it.
I just didn't know if you needed anything approved.
No, I was just providing a report so that we could, I guess, figure out, I mean, we'd like to get a drainage easement.
But if the owner doesn't cooperate, well, it's gonna be a little difficult.
Yeah, so that.
I'm trying for the past 8 years.
So that's.
As long as it's not a speed bump, the laws commission will be okay.
So that's where that is.
Let me ask you, I know it's not in the agenda, but
Yes.
what is going on with the TechStop project, man? It's been a long time.
Thank you, Commissioner. On the TechStop project, what we did is we made some changes on the plan that was proposed, and I need to submit to Ms. Roxy the revised layout, a revised budget, because what we changed is on Commissioner Mendoza's precinct, we had proposed initially 3 sections that we wanted improvements on. The 3 sections, when we submitted it, we asked for a bigger budget, kinda like the 30 million they requested, we got 4. We requested a bigger budget and they gave us what they gave us, so now we're reducing it to what they gave us, so that we can say, okay, we can do this section, that's where I'll get her something before.
It's time consuming.
Yes, so I'll get her something by this week.
Item number 20 is, to review status update on jail repairs.
Oh. Okay, I. Did I, no, I have it right.
Officer Gonzalez, on that note, Ms. Ruta, and I think this is very, thank you, Mr. this morning. On that easement, so the sewer line is not run through that 20-foot easement there?
I would need to check with, Mr. Zapata, from the county sewer department.
Okay.
Because that is, it's a utility easement, more than likely was for a sewer line easement. I don't know if all of those homes that are on that street, on Upper Drive, are connected to the front of the lots or to the back. And, I would like to speak with Mr. Zapata about where the county has that. If they are in the front, then we can certainly consider, I think.
If the sewer line runs in the back, the water runs in the front.
For sure, water runs in the front, so we did do an improvement where we ran a 6-inch line in the front. I did see a manhole on the most southern part of that street. And so I know that there is sewer on that street, but it was on the south part. When you come all the way north to where Gavial Street intersects, I don't know if those northern homes or that whole section, if they're, I think the plan was to be connected to the back end, taken all the way south, and then it goes east. You have a lift station way at the eastern part of that track.
Yes.
And, that's where it's all supposed to go, but, I don't know if those few homes that are in the front, they crossed them over and connected them on the other side. I need to verify with Mr. Chapa. If we start infilling homes, how will those be connected? So if we can, if there's already a plan in place, how they can be connected, we can consider then maybe reducing it. I wouldn't wanna completely remove it, but maybe reducing it to something that's, acceptable. We did do a survey for Ms. Ruth back in 2018, and the easement is part of the plat. So that it was presented to Commissioner Court and it was platted as such. And so they had. Oh, yeah, it was platted a long time ago. And so,
Because she
it was like maybe 15 years ago.
Because she claims the line actually runs on the Ramirez property, not on that, within that 20-foot easement. So that's what we need to verify, if the line is actually running through that 20 feet or if it's actually beyond the 20 feet.
Okay, but yeah, we can look at that, Commissioner, and see if the line, where the actual line is.
Can you put something on the agenda for the next meeting on that, please?
Yes, I will.
Okay, thank you.
I'll send you the agenda. Okay, did I provide you the, yes, okay. On that one, for the jail construction, we have had, complete construction that was awarded by, the Commissioner's Court to do improvements there. And on that, they have been putting in, removing and replacing the, rubber gaskets within the jail, section, concrete sections. They've also been repairing the metal, concrete metal, I guess joints. There were some sections that were not attached. It was just prepped for it, but hadn't been attached. There's a section of gutters that we had already seen that had holes on it, and we had proposed to be replaced. It was 100 foot, and upon, I guess, when we did some inspection work and they were already starting construction, there was more sections that had holes in it or just really had deteriorated to where there are not, I guess, I brought some pictures.
So it's an additional 100 feet other than what we had already approved?
It's an additional to the 100 that had been approved, and then there's
What
also.
was, the project scope was about $13,000,
No, it was, 9.
17 gutters. I'm trying to
Seven,
remember
it was
what's that.
seven, I have it right here. It was 17,000.
Okay,
It's just-
17,000, yeah.
Yes, it was 17,000.
Okay.
So I can give you a total right now.
So is this within the budget, the project budget, or we're gonna have to go?
No, there was no initial project budget. It was 17,950, Judge.
Right, okay.
And so then this brings it to 21,730. We did bid it out. When we bid it out, there was, I guess 2 bidders.
And one was abnormally high.
Yes, it was like over $50,000. And then the other one was at 17, which concerned me for a little bit. I did speak to Mr. Campos if he could do the work for that price, and he said, yes, I can. So he did put in all the ones that we already had in place. We did go inspect it, and we did see, that there was, some sections that when you clean that off, it's already deteriorated where we replace it.
So who did the work, Mr. Campos?
They're doing the work. Yeah, no, that change order's not for us, it's for Mr.
So Mr. Campos is the one doing the work at the jail?
They're doing the work at the jail, that's correct. And
We
then,
have a lot of issues at the community center that have not been addressed, that work was done by Mr. Campos.
I did speak to him about that. The judge had called me about, the work at the community center. He mentioned to me that they had gone back and did the repairs that were needed, and that, it had not leaked.
Have you heard from Zapata, Judge, on that? Is it still leaking or?
Well, we haven't had a rain event for a while, but last time there was a significant rain event, it did leak.
Okay, I did,
Yeah, we've been, I guess we approved, this bid, because of the price. But basically, his performance, wasn't up to par.
No, we can't be giving work to people.
But I did speak with Mr. Gonzalez about that, and he said he'd stay on it, and I guess he's doing the work.
I did talk to them, yeah, they did already, they'll be done before the end of the month on this part. They were poured, last week, they poured a 4x4 concrete section that we had requested, and it was part of the contract, and then they're pouring today the other section on the other side. The, other thing was combining the metal section, so they've got it pretty much done, and then this also includes a cost to replace a window that had some damage.
So you're actually, you're self-inspecting their work?
I will get, well, now I am. I didn't on the previous, but on this one I am.
I mean, it's concerning because the project at the community center was a big project. There was a lot of money that we paid out.
We were not involved.
Right, I'm just saying that we can't
Just
get.
wanna be real clear.
Yeah, we can't be giving work to contractors and we're having those types of issues with.
I would suggest that whenever you have a big contract like that, it's gonna seem like, that you retain services, that we can assist you with inspection services, or we can assist you with preparing like a layout for bidding purposes, and then keep staying on them to check that it does meet the county's goals, right? Because we may write a contract in a certain way that says, okay, we want you to replace the roof, let replace the roof, but I don't know if you remember when we had Serpro fixing the courthouse, they were replacing something, and then they were like, well, we found something else that was wrong.
Yeah.
And then you start finding other things that need to be either upgraded or repaired, and it's much like in this one. So when we go and check, we see, okay, this needs to be repaired, we can't let it go, because then we're gonna continue having problems. So we wanna make sure that we fix it properly, so that when we're done with this one, we're good. But yes, I think we need to have, supervision on the project.
Yeah, motion to approve.
Okay.
All right,
So is this coming out of another department or is it coming out of the
that's what
project?
it's been coming out of.
I'll second the motion, Judge.
Motion by Commissioner Garza, second by Commissioner Mendoza. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, moving on, thank you, Gonzalez. Moving on to, consent item, we got street lights at 115 Trinity Lane and 1807 Alamo and.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Garza, second by Commissioner Solis. All those in favor say aye.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Commissioner Garza to adjourn, and second by Commissioner Solis. We are now adjourned. Another Commissioner.